Mike, please.
Everybody's here, so we have a quorum. So look for a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Make a motion?
Motion by Leo, second by Dennis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Hopefully, everybody got their packets in a timely fashion, so they're able to review. Look for a motion to approve the minutes as printed. Motion by Tim. Second by Dennis. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye to approve the minutes from June 24th.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Okay, thank you. Now look for a motion to open the public hearing. Motion by Tim,
Second.
second by Travis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is open. Take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the applicant is seeking approval of a variance to the minimum lot size standard in the Special Protection Low Development Overlay Zoning District at 27451 South Highway 34, Barnesville, Minnesota 56514 on parcel ID 28.027.0102. This is in part of the northeast quarter, the northwest quarter, section 27, Township 137, range 44, Tansom Township. So this property is in the way southeast corner of Clay County, just on the south side of State Highway 34. The property is zoned agricultural general, but it does have a shoreland zoning on it, special protection, low development. Other properties are zoned the same. Some do have just the special protection. There's a use of the property is residential. There is a single-family residence on the property here, and then this building also has living quarters in it as well. And then there's some accessory solar systems on the property. So there would like to subdivide about 6.5 acres from this 90-acre parcel. So right now, there's currently 2 residential structures on the property, and only 1 dwelling is permitted per parcel. So this variance splitting it would rectify that. The applicant provided a practical difficulty. One, that the property line would be defined by an existing natural visual boundary. So really what they're seeking to do is follow this tree line here. They'd want to place the property line down the center of the existing access. They have looked into installing another access to the property and kind of reconfiguring how this would work, but it's because it's to a state road with separation and things like that, MnDOT would not allow for an additional access. And then they also want to keep their solar arrays on their property too. So that's another reason why it's kind of got this L shape is there's a solar array right here. They want to keep that on their property. So if they were to split it, the proposed lot, it would technically be 10 acres, but about 3 to 4.5 acres of that would be water. And in our code and Minnesota State Shoreland rules, only land that's above the ordinary high water level of a public water can be used to meet lot area standards. So looking at it here, this would be a 10-acre lot, but yeah, you'd have much of it comprised of water. So the 10-acre minimum could be met if they were to shift this property line down into these woods. It's pretty wet down here. There's a significant wetland here as well. The applicant also wishes to retain ownership of the trees and contends that the established tree line provides for a more practical, natural, and clear property line delineation. As I had said earlier, I did speak with MnDOT, and we had kind of had a meeting on this, and they wouldn't grant another access onto 34. The lot proposed would meet all the other dimensional and setback standards. And so just from our comprehensive plan, goals and objectives to consider, we have a goal to protect and enhance the health and vitality of Clay County surface waters, including lakes, rivers, and streams, and reduce development pressure on natural environment lakes in Clay County. And that's why we have this zoning district, this special protection low development zoning district. It's for smaller lakes, really just to prevent overdevelopment on some of these smaller lakes that wouldn't be able to handle it. So ultimately, I guess you would need to determine, as you do for every variance request, whether the applicant's practical difficulty meets these three criteria, and in doing that in your findings of fact. Does anyone have any questions for me at all?
Is this a building that was built and then living quarters were added later?
I think the building has always had living quarters in it, and it was used while they were building their house, I want to say. But when the applicant has a chance to speak, I'll let him confirm that.
Sure. Because typically, I guess, in all the other things that we've seen, when you're going to build something like this, you usually parcel it first.
Yeah, that typically would be something you would do. Yep. If you intended to,
Have two living
resident-
or
yep.
two dwellings on a property.
yep.
So it's a lake is why it's a 10-acre minimum parcel? That-
Yeah, it's just the zoning district. So our 10 acres is well above what the DNR's, or what the state minimum is. The state minimum is, for this zoning district, I think it'd be like 90, like just about 2 acres. So it's well and above and beyond that for this particular zoning district.
And if this
so-
wasn't on the water, our rules would be 2 acres as well?
If this was on a different lake that had just a regular special protection zoning, then it would be, yep,
2 acres?
yeah, roughly, yep. So even the 6.5 acre request would be well over what the state minimum would be. Or, yeah, state minimum lot size.
What are the rules in are our new rules in place now for the county?
Yes.
Okay, and in the new rules, it's still 10?
For special protection low development, it is still 10, yes. Everything else for shoreland zoning matches the state shoreland rules. You can, one of the reasons, so there are a couple reasons for why that 10 acres or this particular zoning district was kept and not just reverted to state shoreland rules minimums is there was a desire again to not see overdevelopment of these smaller lakes. And then one thing with the Minnesota state shoreland rules is you can have something called implementation flexibility. So if you're more strict in some areas, you can actually be less strict in other areas when implementing the shoreland rules. So in the future, if there was some reason that Clay County desired to be less strict about something, having this in here, yes.
Yeah, you have to balance it.
Yep,
Interesting.
yep.
Yeah, we have dealt with something similar with Southern Water with the buffer rules. You know, as long as you didn't need to have, you know, the 3 rods for the whole distance. You needed, you know, on an average, if you had it, you know, there was some give and take there, so it is something that the county does do
Yep.
in other situations for the buffer law.
And the driveway, being that it'd be 2 parcels, is there need to be an easement or anything in that?
There could be, but it could just be a shared access where the property line would go right down the driveway.
I'd be wrestling with my neighbor who's cleaning it.
Ken's, I'm like, is there any depth to that?
Is there any,
I'm just looking at, is there any depth to that, or is it just a swamp?
Small lake.
It's just a small
Just a small
lake.
lake.
Yep.
Right off 34.
No depth to it then?
No. Or is it 100? It's not even 100 acres. It's like
No,
50, if that.
maybe.
It's a small lake.
Mostly smaller lakes are like 10, 15 feet.
And hard to
I'm
get
not sure
hard
about-
to get access to because they're usually so full of stuff around the perimeter.
Yeah, so there's only 2 other houses around that lake? Is that right?
I can pull it up here.
Or 2 other residential properties anyways? One on the south, and maybe one on the east?
Yeah, really on this lake, there's 2. Correct.
Any other questions for Matt? Hearing none, would the applicant care to speak? And if so, please state your name for the record and
I'm Lorna Ely, and my husband.
I'm John Ely.
And if I could just clarify, Travis, what you had said as far as the two buildings. When we purchased this property, and it was about, I think, 4 years before we started the actual construction of the steel building, our intent, and we did live in there for 18 years. We have a 2-bedroom apartment.
Sure.
And went through permitting with the county as far as sewer, well, all that. And so we lived in 1,200 square feet on one end, and then the remainder was garage, storage, that type of thing. And the intent at that time was that we would live there and construct our own house, which we did over 10 years. Moved in like in 2023, January 2023 is when we moved in there. And as a result, John has an electrical business out of the cities and was going to store and has stored his equipment there and that type of thing. But now, because it took a long time to build the house and that type of thing, it's just remained and, as we've kept it heated, low level, so things didn't freeze up, that type of thing. And now we're nearing retirement in very near future and don't have a need for that property for any business purposes. So that's why we've come up with the idea to subdivide.
Doing it to sell?
Pardon?
Doing it to sell?
Yes, yeah. And then we live down, I think, I can't really see, it's kind of light there, but then the house that we built on the same property is kind of hidden from the road, so that's where we're currently living.
Thank you for the explanation.
We didn't have the intent initially to subdivide and sell, but now that we are there, we realize that it's excessive for us.
Well, then you guys will have to arm wrestle whoever is moving snow.
anyone else have any questions for the applicant?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody in the audience or online wish to speak for or against this? Anyone in the audience wish to speak or online wish to speak for or against? Anyone in the audience or online wish to speak to this? Hearing none, look for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Leo, second by Dennis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is closed. Okay, is granting the variance in harmony with the general purposes and intent of the Clay County Land Development Code?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the requested variance consistent with the Clay County Comprehensive Land Use?
Yes.
Yes.
Does the applicant establish that there are practical difficulties in complying with the strict letter of the Clay County Land and Development Code?
Yes.
Do exceptional or extraordinary circumstances exist that apply to the property in question and that do not generally apply to other properties in the same zone or vicinity, resulting from lot size, shape, topography, or other circumstances over which the owners of the property have no control or influence?
Yes.
Would the literal interpretation of the provisions of the Clay County Land Development Code deprive the applicant of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the terms of this ordinance?
Yes.
Is the variance being granted the minimum variance that would alleviate the practical difficulty?
Yes.
Yes.
Does the variance request meet all the below criteria? No variance shall be granted where any of the following conditions are not met. Adequate sewage treatment systems or water supply capabilities can be provided.
Yes.
The plight of the landowner or hardship is not due to circumstances created by the landowner.
Yes.
Yes.
The variance would not allow a use that is not already allowed in the zoning district.
Yes.
The essential character of the locality would not be altered, or there would not be a significant adverse effect on surrounding properties.
Yes.
There would not be a significant adverse effect on the public health or safety.
Yes.
This variance does not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied by this ordinance to owners of other lands, structures, or buildings in the same district.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and there's a condition on here that both properties must have compliant septic systems. Is that something that is, right now happening, or does it need to be
My
inspected?
understanding is right now that they are, but when the sale of the property happens, they will need to
Have it inspected.
have an inspection anyway.
Okay.
But I would want both of them to be checked because there is, Mr. Chair, just one more finding that we'd want to go through for shoreline districts, just about conforming sewage treatment systems.
Okay,
My understanding is that it is right now, but would want to, upon inspection, ensure that is the case.
okay, so we'll go through, is there a conforming sewage treatment system present for the intended use of the property? The variance as issued must require reconstruction of a non-conforming sewage treatment plan.
You say we don't know the answer to that?
Well, and talking to our environmental health director, he said yes.
That's fine. What's
Yep, but they'll need to be inspected
Oh.
anyway, so,
All right.
Would be, okay.
yep.
Okay, any, further discussion? Okay, then look for a motion to approve or disapprove.
I'll make a
Motion
motion.
to approve, or second it?
Motion by Leo, seconded by Travis to approve the variance with the conditions that they both must, pass the inspection, and if they don't, one or both will need reconstructing. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Kind of a side question. So in the planning commission, we would ask the applicant, and I had nods over there when I was reciting. Is that something that's required for this also?
Not, Mr. Chair, not for a variance.
Okay. Thank you.
And I do also think there's a window. So if you have a new septic system, if you have to have it re-inspected in a window, you don't actually have to have it re-inspected. If it's been done in so long of time, is it a year
It's 5.
or is it 5? Okay.
3 for new systems.
Because their house would have a new system on it. Does that need to be inspected as well before? Because I would only assume the property that's in question.
Yeah. Yep.
Which would happen anyways if it's being sold.
Yeah, you're right,
In Minnesota,
because they're living in, even though it is, could be 10 years, that she said it took 10 years to build it. They've been in there for 2. That's not changing hands. It's the other one.
So I thought under the new rules that you were allowed to have 2 residents on a property. The ones that is,
You can have an accessory dwelling unit on a property. There are different rules for shoreland. Shoreland allows for like a guest cottage, but there are certain requirements that would need to be met for a guest cottage.
okay.
Yep.
Plus ultimately, in this case, the applicant isn't looking for that.
No.
Oh, that's right, yeah, they want to sell it off.
Yeah.
Got it,
This is kind of a unique.
sure, okay.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, Mr. Jacobson, is there any unfinished business?
I do not have any, Mr. Chair, unless anyone else does.
How about new business?
I just want to make you aware, I did send an email out about this to you all, about this navigating key land use issues training that's going to happen in Waite Park on August, I want to say it's August 7th. Yeah, August 7th, 9 to 4. If that's something that you're interested in attending, just if you could let me know by the end of the week, that'd be great. Pay for it, obviously, and can drive down with myself and maybe Mr. Melton. Are you still planning on attending? Okay. For the Board of Adjustment, I think what is valuable, what other folks who've attended this training would be mainly creating a defensible record and findings. And then also there's some kind of get a good update on just some current court cases that might be pertaining to variances or things like that as well. So sometimes they have training that focuses on more Board of Adjustment specific topics like variances or appeals of administrative decisions or things like that. This one, not so much, but still definitely worth attending if you can make it work.
August 7th?
Yep. I want to say that's a Thursday.
It is, yeah.
It is a Thursday.
That's not gonna work for me.
Okay,
One thing that I'll do is, and I had mentioned this, I think, before, is trying to do some more training. So after going to this training on the 7th for our August meeting, my intent is to have something, depending on what's on our agenda, for training purposes.
Is this one similar to that one that we went to a couple of years ago?
Yep,
Okay. That was really good. That was actually kind of fun.
yeah. Yeah, they're definitely worthwhile. Alright. That's all I have for new business.
Anybody else have anything to bring up before the board? Hearing none, look for a motion to adjourn. Motion by Tim,
I'll second.
second by Travis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.